Hey everybody, it is Billy at Be Tough Man. I am really excited. I got the DWS715 Dewalt mitering chop saw. I use this thing a ton at the cabin, borrowed my neighbor's. He asked for it back, so I had to get my own, and now it's here. To my surprise, not only is this thing one of the best chop saws out there, but it's also one of the best bang for the bucks. All right, man, let's get into it. Let's check it out. The Dewalt chop saw. We are going to do the unboxing. Now, I borrowed my neighbor, so I didn't get to see everything that was, in the box. So we're going to find out right now what was in it. I will tell you that this thing is like really heavy. Oh yeah. I feel like I know this thing so good because, I did a lot. So you can see how it's packaged here. It's packaged really nice. Right? This is a clamp for a table. Okay, I never saw that part. Like I said, I borrowed my neighbor's. He was kind enough to let me use it. Oh man, it's heavy. All right. Let me see, we got bag. We'll go over that. I'm just gonna kind of throw this off to the side here. Get it! Get it! All right. Oh, man, that's heavy. Does it say how much it weighs? I don't know, man, but that was heavy. But he's like 25, 30 pounds. Man, this is so slick. Before I get too far into it, I want to talk about the pricing real quick because I think that's a really key part of it. Now, I had borrowed this from my neighbor. He let me borrow it, and we have a cabin project. You can look at our videos if you want to see what we've done with it. We've done everything from reclaim paneling, like the boards on the inside. We did the whole inside of the cabin. We did hardwood floors, and we did the pillars, the 4x6 pillars underneath the deck. And so we were really using it. And it worked like a workhorse, man. I'm telling you, tons of torque. It was a great piece. My neighbor came back and said, hey man, I need that saw back. And I was like, oh no, he needs a saw back, man. That's gonna set me back a lot. So I went out looking for it and I was like, man, I know this one. After using it, the quality was so good. I was like, man, this thing's gonna be so expensive. To my delight, it was only 250 bucks. They have $500 ones out there, but this one that I used was 250. It was 50 bucks off on Amazon. But I'm telling you that price is worth every penny of this thing, and I'll show you some of the features that I like about it. But I'm telling you, that price structure, you will not find a better saw for $250, that's for sure. Okay, so let's get into it here. Well, it comes with this, right? And this is really nice too, especially if you're, working inside, and that is a catch, like a catch can or whatever. It just simply goes on right there. And especially like I said, if you're doing like woodwork inside, that will reduce the amount of sawdust flying around significantly, big time. So that's a good piece. If you're outside, you don't care, you don't have to use it, and that's fine too. It's just gonna kick it out there. So but that is a nice piece to have. And it looks like it has a zipper here. So you can just kind of like empty it out if you have to, Pretty simple, but really effective. Do this better. Let me see here. I'm going to wrap this around. Let me see if I'm right. Nope. Maybe I am. Yeah. Yeah, so this goes on here. And what this does is you can see that there's a lever underneath here. First, let me show you this because this is one thing that I couldn't figure out. This is actually a little bit, it looks like a newer version of what I borrowed. So I'm just going to figure this out. You push this down, pull this out, and it allows the saw to go up. Right? Like that, okay? I'm gonna remove this, we don't need that. Now, one thing that's nice about this, I want you to see how clean, like this is like really nice material here, right? And you know what's really good about this one? So the one that I borrowed didn't have this top plate, and I'm going to imagine that if you damage this top plate for whatever reason, that you can order another one, okay? That's actually a really nice feature. I think the one that I borrowed from my neighbor, it was all built into this aluminum, right? So if you damaged it or scratched it, that was it. But to move this, there's a lever underneath here, and it slides around nice and easy. So, if you have to do like if you have to do a cut this way or that way, you can just put it 30 degrees this way, boom. 30 degrees this way, boom, and you get perfect cuts, right? And it locks right in. And then if you really want to, I never really did this too much, but if you want to, you can screw that in and that will remove all the wobble you want. And you can go any increment you want. I guess when it goes into the 5s, so you got like 30, 35, 40, it clicks into the 5s. But if you wanted to do like 32, 33, that's when you would probably lock this down, because it doesn't actually go into like click in, right? So that's what this is good for. The blade that comes on it is very good. It's a 12-inch blade. They do sell these at any of the places. They're not that expensive. I think a 2-pack was like $40, but these blades last a long time. If you're using it on wood or hardwood flooring, they last a long time. If you're starting to use them on like metals and stuff, it's gonna reduce the time on it. But as far as that goes, you know, I think you'll be okay. It looks to me like there is an option. I'll have to look for it. They might be in here, but for rubber bottoms to go on here, I could be wrong, but I think there is. See these holes right here? I think you can actually add some rubber supports that'll keep it from moving around. If you're working out in the dirt a lot, you may not want those, but I think I think they're in here somewhere. I could be wrong. And if not, I'm sure you could get them, and that's what they're probably there for. These holes right here is to put rubber grommets underneath it that would kind of raise it up a little bit. It does have a ton of torque. I didn't, if you start off, I mean, it will, every once in a while it would stop. It would, if I tried to start the blade too close before it wound up on its RPMs on like a 4x6, especially when I was cutting it diagonal, you know, where you're really getting a lot of torque on it, every once in a while you could bog it down, but not very much. I mean, that was a rare case, and I cut through a lot of wood. So you should be okay with that. It uses a simple 2-prong connector, you can see. So you'll be able to go into just about any outlet. Yeah, so it does have, of course, I think it has a, so when you want to replace the blade, this will, I think this, yeah, see that locks it. Very easy to do. And then there's an Allen over here. The Allen, it's easy to remove. It comes with the Allen key right here, and that will allow you to remove the blade. So I did make a mistake. I thought that this was for the table clamp, but it's actually not. This actually goes in this slot right here, right? And then this, you clamp on to a piece of wood right here, whatever it is, you know, probably do up to 4 inches maybe, it looks like, something like that. And then you can spin that down and clamp it so it don't move. So that's a pretty cool tool. Yeah, I didn't realize what that was, but that's what it is for sure. One thing that's nice about it too is it has this, right? So you can put bevel cuts in it, or mitering cuts, I guess they'd call it. And you can see it has a really nice, you can see the gauge here. So, you know, if you want to go 30 degrees, you know, you can hit it. Actually, that's actually good. So you can only go, I wonder if you can do a, you might be able to move that a little bit, but you can actually, I think it goes a certain, oh yeah, I think you may have to move this. Oh yeah, so those adjustments here, sorry about that, I should have done that. You can actually, so let me spin this around. Okay. Over here, you can see this right here, you unscrew that. This slides out this way to whatever angle you want. That's gonna allow you to do, you know, more cuts this way, more angle, you know. So you should be able to, there you go. And I noticed that you may have to, on some of the cuts, like I noticed that when I was cutting, and it's kind of dangerous, but on some of these side cuts, I did have to hold this up. I mean, it does have these, it does have this, right here, it has this grip, so you can have your thumb on there. It is a little bit more dangerous. You definitely have to be careful when you do that stuff, but you definitely can get those side cuts. It's really smooth, the motion on it, right? Really nice. And so, like this would be the example where, like, let's say you were cutting this way, right? And you wanted to do 30 degrees. Well, you may have to flip it back around this way to get the 30-degree cut, you know what I mean? To get the right angle that you need for the other side. So it is really nice, and it's just like this thing right here, the movement on it, you can tell that it's really like well built. There's no slop as you rotate it around. It feels like it's on some kind of like lubricated, like steel on steel. It's really high quality stuff. Yeah, I really like that. It does have this little things that you don't really think about, but it has, you know, a lot of times when you're cutting, let's see if I can open this. When you're cutting, a lot of times the cord, you know, you don't want the cord to get in the way. So it does have this nice thing where you can kind of put the cord there, you know, and the cords, you know, won't get in your way when you're cutting. That's actually a really nice feature that a lot of people don't think about, but it does keep the cord out of the way. Yeah, so the trigger right here, it's very simple. if you look on here, let me show you, there's a safety mechanism on here so you don't accidentally hit it. This is really nice. Actually, the one I used didn't have this. Can you come in here real quick? Let me show you this. So see this little thing right here? It's like you got to, it won't go in like that, right? So if you're, sometimes when you're moving things around, you can actually hit that blade. And if your hand's here, that could be a bad idea. But if you look here, there's a little lever, right? And then when you push that forward, now it'll go down. So that's a really nice safety piece that I didn't see that in the other one. That's actually really nice. For cargoing, the thing around, it compacts out pretty nice. Like I said, it comes in here. This goes, actually that's pretty nice. The other one didn't have that. So it's spring loaded to go in. So that's what's new. The other one just had like a knob, a aluminum knob that went in and out. This one's actually spring loaded. That's actually nice because it wants to go in, right? See, I'm not even doing that. So when I'm done using it, look at that. My hand's not even on it. It automatically does it. So that's pretty cool. So if you're using it, okay, so if you're ready to go home, you put it in this location. If you're using it, you would rotate this. That's gonna keep it, so when you do the cut down, it's not gonna lock in. When you're done, rotate that around, it goes in, you're done. This right here too, this is the lock for the angle cut. So if you're gonna go like this, let's say you want it at 15 degrees, you wanna lock it right there, you just spin that in, and it's locked in right there. And then you can come over here, and you can actually set your blade. You can set this piece up, just unscrew that, set this up, however it needs to be, get it out of the way or whatever, tighten it up, and do it. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Really nice piece, man. I'm telling you, I can't wait. Definitely have more projects that I'm going to do at the cabin. And I want to show you this too, because I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but come back over here real quick. So this thing stays locked in. If you look down here, there's a lever that comes up. That allows the unit to move when you pull that up, and when you let it go, it locks it in. So that's how you move it around, and I never had any problems with it moving. Like once it's locked in, it's not going anywhere. And then like I said, this one right here would be, you don't really need to have this tight unless you have it like on 13 degrees. Then you may want to lock it down so it don't move off 13 degrees. Do your cut, and there you go. It runs off 110. And it will take some power. Like our power there is very limited. Like, you know, what you'd expect up in the mountains, right? Not quite as good as you have in the city. So, you know, if we're running, someone's got the microwave running, the lights all going, and the AC going. There was a couple times when we hit this and it did trip the breaker, right? So it is, if you can get it on a line that goes directly into the box, or if you can get it on its own where you're not splicing it into a line that has the AC units on it, that's probably a good idea. Or any other big equipment. I think if you have a generator going, it'll work fine on a generator. If you bring a generator to a job site, it's going to work fine. But if you may trip a wire if you have a big compressor running and you hit this at the same time and you have some other things going on, it could trip it. It does draw some power, but it's got a lot of torque, and that's why it does that. Overall, like I said, for the price, you will not find it better. I have used this thing, and like I said, you can go look at our videos that I've done, and you will see how much I've used it. And when I returned it to my neighbor, it was in as good a shape as when he gave it to me. So, I mean, they're just die-hard machines that are meant to last a long time. And for 250 bucks, man, you'd be hard-pressed to go to Harbor Freight to find that price on something like this, and it's a Dewalt. So there you go, man. Built to last for sure. That's my review of this miter saw. If you have any questions, let me know. If I do find something else out in here that I forgot, which is likely, I'll add it in the comment box. But overall, super stoked to have my own chop saw. Gonna take it back up and do some more work at the cabin. I can't wait to do it. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And the best thing is, I don't have to turn it back. So this is the DWS715 if you're looking for it, and it's on Amazon, and it's a good deal. All right, there you go. This is Billy at T-Tug.